we're joined by seventh-round pick Javontae Jean-Baptiste of Notre Dame by way of Ohio State, the final pick for the Commanders in the 2024 NFL draft class, 9-player class that they put together. Talented edge rusher, had 5 sacks and 10.5 tackles for loss this year. Javontae, thank you so much for the time. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
Doing very
great,
well.
buddy.
Pumped up to chat with you. So take us back to your draft day celebration. You're watching day 3. You're hoping to hear your name called. Who was around you? You know, what was on the menu? Where were you at? What was it like?
All right, so I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm with my family, my mom, dad, uncles, cousins, god brothers. Everybody's there, man. The menu-wise, food-wise, we had it all. Like we had ribs, steak, mac and cheese, yams, beans. What you wanted? Pasta salad. It was there.
Javontae, did you know you were getting picked by Washington?
Did I know?
Yeah.
I mean, I was hoping for it.
Well, take us up to it. What kind of conversations did you have with them, and were they, giving you signals and what's that like?
I mean, for me, like I had some visits with some other teams, but when I went out there to Washington, man, I just felt the love, the conversation between everyone in the building, man. I think everything went perfectly fine, and I was like, man, that's a place I could be at. So I was sitting there, and I'm just like waiting. I'm like, man, come on.
Did they separate themselves at all? Like, was it obvious more so than other teams that they liked you, or were there a lot of clubs you thought might take you? What was that like?
I feel like they did separate themselves pretty much very well. Probably like one out of the two, but from them, it was most like distinctively, I was like, yeah, I feel that they're rocking with me and I'm rocking with them.
I like it.
So then you get the phone call. We've seen it, right? Peters, Quinn, they pass the phone around. They tell you you're getting drafted. What a relief that must have been as the wait finally ended. I mean, what was your expectation for where you could go from your agents, and what were you thinking might happen?
I mean, I knew I was going to get gone, but I just didn't know exactly when. It could have been early, could have been middle, could have been late. So I was just sitting there, anxious, stomach and knots, like just twisting and turning. And then once I got that call, it was like the weight of the world was just like off my shoulders. I mean, at first I was excited, and then it was like I got hit with a whole nother emotion of like just like finally achieving something, man. The tears came out crazy. I was like, oh, I'm on the phone ugly crying.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. Well, again, congratulations, Javontae. Right now, what do you do well? What is your best attribute, and what are folks in DC getting?
My best attribute is my motor, man. They're gonna get a person and a player that's gonna play sideline to sideline, someone that's gonna try to fire the guys up and make sure that I'm helping them hold the standard that wants to be in that building.
I'm curious about your strengths and where you want to add to your game. Weaknesses, maybe.
I mean, a player like me, since my strengths would kind of be my length, my speed, how I play, my mentality. I'll say I wouldn't really say I have like too much like crazy weaknesses, but I just like will have to make sure I'm able to like stay involved in like yoga, Pilates and stuff like that. That I can gain more mobility and flexibility.
How did going to 2 different colleges, being part of 2 different elite programs, how did that kind of help shape your journey here, getting ready for the draft, getting used to the way things are done in multiple places might actually be an advantage?
Man, it was an advantage because I'll say just first off, from going from Ohio State, you walking in that building, you got guys like Nick Bosa, Chase Young, Jonathan Cooper, and that's just at the edge positions. You got other players, Justin Fields, J.K. Dobbins, guys like that, Jeff Okudah, and you get to see how they work every day and what they put into their bodies, how they maintain themselves off the field, on the field, what they're doing when no one's watching. And I feel like I was able to just learn from those guys and add what they were doing well and try to replicate that myself. Now I say going to Notre Dame, it was a good thing for me because I was able to to walk into a new system, you know, because I was being at Ohio State. I was there for 5 years now. Now where I'm at in my next phase in life, I'm going into another place where I don't know anyone. And I was able to do very well with that at Notre Dame, going in there, attacking everything, getting to know everyone in the building, man, creating a lot of relationships, and just being able to learn from Coach Washington and Coach Free, Coach Golden, and the system that they had planned for me. You know, so I feel like my whole overall experiences between being at 2 blue blood colleges, it was amazing, man. Getting to learn from Coach Johnson and Coach Wash, man, it's a blessing.
Javontae, Jean-Baptiste, 49 tackles, 10.5 tackles for loss, 5 sacks. Notre Dame this past season, 6'5" good-looking athlete. The Commanders just added in the draft, joining us on Grant and Danny. Give me a comp to an NFL rusher that you've either patterned your game after or you think resembles how you operate a little bit.
Man, I say what I try to do by pattern my game was, I know a lot of people going to say it, but I really like to watch, like, there's kind of a couple plays I really like to diagnose and watch, and it was Max Crosby was one, Bud Dupree, and just taking a little stuff from Carlos Dunlap. The thing about Max was I just loved his relentless, how he plays sideline to sideline. And if you go take a little peek at me, you can see how I do that by chasing plays down and stuff.
Who's your favorite team growing up, or who are some of the players that you rooted for?
My favorite team growing up, I mean, I'm from New York. My dad was a big Giants fan, so you know I had to go where my dad was with.
Your phone broke up. What were you saying?
You said Washington?
No,
we're kidding.
Nah, that's my favorite team now.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the right answer.
That's my favorite team now. Ain't nobody but none. Commander now.
Let's go.
But back then,
I love that. Everybody's got to get the burgundy and gold. Well, it's been great catching up. We appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping aboard, and best of luck to you, bro.
No problem.